好。对，他说他有指出一条安全的路啊，我怎么没看到路呢？不好的安全的路。 哎，那边有大怪物，不去打他，打我。都是他。
You must prepare, child, for the earth is bleeding and the harvest is upon us.
Stay away, whoever you are.
This is no time for petty quarrels, my champion. Can you not hear? The famished queen has awoken.
你的有事，我叫你闭嘴。
I am not your champion.
But of course you are, son. As surely as you are the blood of my blood.
I had to kill Mary.
I have known your pain, child. Do not succumb to...
Silence! I dismiss you, now!
The land calls for a champion. All and everyone needs you.
Silence!
What?
I'm tired of all these puppet shows.
对，他是在操控我们，但是不知道为什么，忽然不觉得他是坏人的。因为他的目的好像是要我们去打击某些人。
They want war. I'll show them war.
Whatever this poor woman did, nobody deserves this kind of punishment.
记住了吗？这边这个吸血鬼，我们不能帮他，我们就顺顺的走过去就好了。对，我们不要鸡婆。Silence。他讲的很用力，但是他很没感情。
So this is where she lives. What a splendid house.
对，我们不能在同一个地方跌倒2次。对，还好我都记得。不要太鸡婆了，人家他比我们强多少啊？我们还去帮人家。
Dr. Reed, welcome. How are you?
As good as one can be, considering the circumstances.
Yes. Death and affliction seem prevailing themes of late. Please, come in. We have much to discuss.
I hope I haven't disturbed you.
漂亮哦。
Not at all. Actually, I was counting on you visiting me tonight.
How strange, this painting. Beautiful, melancholic, yet with a haunting dignity.
Indeed. A long time ago, a friend asked me to paint this for him, but I kept it in the end.
I did not know you were a painter, my lady.
There are many things you do not know about me, young Ekon.
来了，叫我乔纳森。
Please, call me Jonathan.
Please excuse my behavior, Jonathan. I tend to tease my friends when uneasy.
What is bothering you, my lady? Your letter was quite alarming.
We will talk about this in a few minutes. For now, I would like you to tell me about yourself. How have you been since we last met, my friend?
My sister Mary. She was made a vampire in the same way I was. She was the one killing all those people everywhere I went.
Vengeance is a powerful force for those betrayed. Made vampire through careless error. Victims by surprise.
I swear I did not intend that. If only I had known then how vampires are created.
That is the scientist speaking. In truth, most of us do not know how it really works. Personally, I make sure my prey will not return to haunt me.
What do you mean?
I am merciless, Jonathan. I only feed on the dying, and I make sure they are dead before leaving their remains.
In the end, she implored me to put an end to her misery. But still, I felt I had taken her life twice.
I am so sorry for my accidental cruelty. Had I known your dear Mary was still alive, I would never have sent you to pray for her soul in that church.
There is no need to apologize, my lady. Your words have been most helpful in these difficult times.
Thank you, my friend. If only we could have guided your poor sister through her terrible nightmare.
I came to the conclusion that my maker, whoever he might be, must be a powerful vampire. Certainly extremely old.
How have you reached this conclusion?
He is the only immortal I've seen appear in an ethereal form. His voice, his words seemed ancient. It was disturbing.
I am afraid you are right. The simple fact that your blood made Mary such a strong Ekon proves that you must be of ancient lineage.
I felt this power, radiating like an aura every time he appeared.
Most ancestral vampires of England were killed by the Guard of Priwen half a century ago. I wonder who your maker could be.
You have no idea who he could be?
Some of the ancient ones fled England. Some may still be in hiding. All I know is you, my friend, are a pawn in some secret and obscure game of chess.
I think I should ask the questions, your ladyship. After all, it was you who invited me to settle this most urgent of matters.
Fair enough, Jonathan. The situation is critical. We do not have the luxury for etiquette.
Please do not misunderstand me. I would be delighted to discuss mundane matters and idle trivialities.
If we survive the
对啊，我
dark
刚才在
nights to
想，
come,
不知道会不会
we
揭
shall
露
have
那
all
个
the time in the world to
我
speak
的
you
创造
and
者到
I.
底是谁。
For now, please follow me, Jonathan.
I must say, your house is exquisite.
One of the advantages of living forever is having the time to be selective with one's furnishings. I took the liberty of having tea served.
You can still drink tea.
Can't keep it down, but I do so enjoy the aroma. Let us toast to make-believe. And of course to your health, Jonathan.
And to yours, my lady.
Please, call me Elizabeth.
So, my lady, why truly did you invite me here?
I've been asked to deliver an official invitation to meet the Ascalon Club.
同心会
Who are they? Really?
They are the embodiment of vampire law in Britain. Some say they influence the destiny of the Empire. Some believe they merely protect it.
How many are they?
Only a small number of powerful and deceitful immortals. All of them entangled in a sticky web of shadow cabinets, influencing trade.
Will they fight the Guard of Priwen?
I doubt it. Fergal was Lord Redgrave's executioner forever and a day. By defeating that beast, you deprived them of a powerful weapon.
Why use you to contact me?
Because they know we are close. The Ascalon Club has many spies. Their main occupation is gathering information and then deciding how to use it.
Have they threatened you in any way?
Not at all. Their message surprised me at first, but it is only logical, considering the critical situation in London.
Why not ask for your help? Since you are obviously a powerful and influential immortal yourself.
You have to understand that I am invisible to the eyes of Ascalon, for I am a woman. That suits me well, as long as they leave me alone.
这个地方就是一个怪怪的邪教啊。
Should I trust them?
Of course not. Do not misunderstand me. They can be very useful, but I believe their long-term goals differ from yours.
Why meet them then?
Because nothing truly important can be achieved in this city without their consent. They could be powerful allies in this current situation.
Should I lie to them?
We all lie, Jonathan. It falls to you to choose your behavior. The most important rule is to show them due respect.
They have done nothing but impede my investigation since I became known to them. Why would they want to see me now?
I guess they now see you as Ascalon material. They must have found out what happened to your sister. Proof of the potent blood flowing through your veins.
I'm not sure I can accept their invitation. I have seen their handiwork. How Fergal the Beast imposed the club's law.
You have no choice, Jonathan. Even I would not openly defy Lord Redgrave, the chairman of the Ascalon Club.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave? Who is he?
Lord Redgrave is the founder and chairman of the Ascalon Club. Most mortals know him as the Earl of Bristol. He is rich and extremely influential.
Have you met him?
Only on rare occasions, for he never goes outside the club. And women are not awarded membership, even immortals.
How old is he? How long has he been a vampire?
Lord Redgrave claims to be the progeny of William Marshall, the most valiant knight who ever lived. If that is true, he could be very old.
How powerful is his reach?
The Ascalon Club may be the most influential secret society in England. Not all its members are immortals, but they are all very powerful.
因为这里有萝莉吸血鬼吗？没有，只有这一位伊丽莎白啊。我的菜。
They are not all immortals. How is that?
The club is mainly comprised of political figures who seek the safety and expansion of the Empire. The most loyal are awarded immortality.
Any familiar or famous names?
As the richest, most relentless British tycoon, Aloysius Dawson is considered ideal Ascalon material and has been watched for years.
If you are convinced I must meet him, I will heed your advice.
Thank you, Jonathan. I understand your reluctance to brush shoulders with London's vampire elite, but we have no choice.
Is the situation that critical?
Yes. The Guard of Prewen has called for a second great hunt of our kind, and they will stop at nothing to eliminate us.
Will the Guard of Prewen and the Ascalon Club fight each other?
I doubt it. If Prewen really launched a great hunt, I think most of the Econs I know would flee the country to escape the bloodbath.
I think I saw them kill an Econ on the way to your house. They seem to have a list with names.
To launch another great hunt, they must have collected intelligence on vampire identities and whereabouts. They are a resourceful lot.
Should we fight back? I will not be hunted down like an animal again.
I admire your courage, Jonathan. But the best way to fight them is to put an end to the epidemic. This is the only way to clear the air.
What is a great hunt?
The first great hunt was launched about 75 years ago. In just a few nights, the Guard of Prewen located and destroyed most of the old British vampires.
不得不说，普里恩卫士也是蛮强的，因为能跟吸血鬼战斗。
Why start a second one?
Priwen has always seen us immortals as a threat to mankind. My guess is they suspect one or more of us as the cause of the epidemic.
How did you survive the first hunt?
I fled, Jonathan. Like most vampires who survived that slaughter. And I secretly came back when I was sure they had lost my trail.
You should flee then. Leave London, the country even. I have seen the Guard in action. They are merciless.
Your concern warms my heart, Jonathan. But fear not. If the situation gets too dangerous, I shall retreat to my secret Scottish manor. I could hide you in my luggage, if you wish.
Thank you for the offer. I shall keep it in mind, but I have much to do here. There is a question I must ask you. Could Lord Redgrave be my maker?
I doubt it. If Lord Redgrave had made you his progeny, he would not have seemed so surprised when you demonstrated the strength of your lineage.
反而我觉得比较像他们提到那个威廉，有可能是威廉，因为说很老，跟这个强大的话了。
What is the plan?
The plan is we both try to save this city, you and I. Go to Ascalon, accept their proposition, and use their influence to promote your agenda.
How can I save London?
The epidemic is the priority. You must find its origin and put an end to it. This is the best way to solve the crisis.
What will you do?
I still have contacts and old friends in this town. I shall make some inquiries and attempt to learn more of the situation. We need clarity.
Will I ever discover the identity of my maker?
Maybe not, Jonathan. We know for sure you were made by a powerful vampire, but most of those fled England long ago.
Please forgive my bluntness, but I have to ask. Was it you? Did you make me?
Oh, Jonathan. I know you shall always have a gnawing doubt about who made you an immortal, but I swear, I had nothing to do with it.
You have no idea at all? You seem to know so many things about the secrets of the vampire underworld.
Even if I had my suspicions, I would not dare give you a name so soon. All I can say is this. I will make inquiries and keep you informed.
One day soon, I will have to find the answer to this mystery.
And I shall help you in your research, I promise. For now, you must go to the Ascalon Club and play their game.
Will I see you again at the Pembroke Hospital?
No, you will find me here if you need me. I shall conduct inquiries alone, and we can then share our discoveries.
Will you not visit Pembroke again?
No. I must remain discreet and avoid attracting attention to Pembroke Hospital for the time being.
But how will you sustain yourself?
I shall not, Jonathan. Fear not. I'm used to it.
When will we meet again?
As soon as you meet Lord Redgrave, I suppose. Fear not, my dear. I shall only be a heart's beat away.
I want to thank you for all your support and your help, my lady.
Could you do me a last great favor and call me Elizabeth?
I should be honored, my lady.
Then it is settled. Finally, some good news in these dark hours.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice. I had best prepare myself to meet this Lord Redgrave now.
How thrilling to meet the Earl of Bristol in the flesh, so to speak.
Something tells me you're not very keen on the man.
Don't get me wrong. The gentlemen of the Ascalon Club are honorable, but their attitude and opinions are somewhat antiquated.
I see.
As long as they deny access to female applicants, I will leave them to their antediluvian considerations as to the natural order of things. Jonathan, promise me you'll be careful.
Of course. But why the fear in your voice?
Look at me, Jonathan.
I am.
I mean, really look at me, young Ekon. We may be deceptive by nature, but this heart of mine has always told the truth.
Elizabeth.
Go, my friend. But come back to me soon.
我手都摸到你脸上了，你还叫我朋友？有在想说要回去，还是继续走下去？
So, time to visit the Ascalon Club.
怪怪的声音。还不能进去。看一下。哎，我怎么刚离开你就有话要跟我说？你又再跑回去看。 哟，女儿的日记。那是面包吗？还是奶油啊？有一个人坐在这里是蛮孤单的。
It's locked.
Hello again, Jonathan.
Sorry to disturb you again.
Of course, my...
Concerning your investigation.
Yes?
Are you truly seeking to...
I cannot promise you anything, but yes. I am conducting some research of my own.
Do you think we shall ever see better days?
I know not, Jonathan. I have seen some horrid days in my long lifetime. Experience has taught me that one cannot outrun the fates.
Will you tell me your story one day, Lady Ashby?
One of them, perhaps. I have had so many lives, Jonathan. Eternity may not be enough to relate them all.
When all of this is over, the war and the epidemic, we could leave the city for a while. Travel around Europe, you and I.
Traveling is always so complicated for us poor creatures of the night. But yes, I would be glad to travel the world with you, my dear.
Do you know if the epidemic has affected...
I confess I've been more concerned by events in the East End. The wealthy have more efficient ways of dealing with infection.
But this is no common epidemic.
That is true. I must tell my daughter to stay at home for a few days, but the girl is stubborn and fiercely independent, much like her mother.
Goodbye, Elizabeth.
这个我觉得是一个彩蛋呢，上次刚好来看到他在画。我要去面对可怕的敌人了。
Steady, boys, we've got one of them. You leashes need killing. Vicious bugger! Watch it! It's a killer!
就是会冲出人来。
You killed her!
Recognize him?
No. This one ain't on our list.
Well, that's one less anyway. It'll make McCullum happy.
That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners.
不然转过来这里怎么会有个147？你脚太长了。因为他们是有特定的捕杀名单。Keep up。哦，我要走这。在这。半蠢了。
The West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home.
"会记得那扇门吗？哦，我吓我一大跳！我没想到他会冲这么快，吓死我了！
What do you want from me?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, Do you need help, sir?
I think I'm fine.
真的，
But what happened to my jailer?
木村
Be
就是
careful.
你。
He's as vicious as he is strong.
You don't have to worry about him anymore. What happened here?
I am Tadao Kimura.
木村忠雄，
I was imprisoned by this lunatic for several days. I thought I was going to die here.
You're not going to die now, Mr. Kimura. If you hurry, you should be able to get home safely.
It seems that I owe you my life. You have all my gratitude, Dr. Reed, since it is the most precious thing I possess.
Goodbye, Mr. Kimura.
那你没有给我什么东西？你安尼敢掉？早知道就不来救你了。先走喽！哎，为什么都是人？我一定要走这，是不是？好吧。26级，对，变难打了。其实有感受到，真的有变难打。
The Ascalon Club, the heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected.
今天就把目前能对话完就。
Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much.
Wait, no. Why do you think I...
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashby. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte. What do you think about...
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home.
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashby never hunts or...
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions...
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all...
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real...
Elizabeth Ashby is my real mother. She raised me and...
Do you live with her?
Elizabeth...
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see? And one day, I'll have my death to face.
那时候在想，如果把他女 变成吸血鬼，这样子是对他好还是对他坏呀？因为至少这样子他们不会有离别痛苦，但可能伊丽莎白也经历过太多次了吧。
How did you meet Lady Ashby?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Econ, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously, and the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it—
Does it not scare you to know?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Yo.
Of course not. You have nothing to fear from me, or your mother.
Good to know. And don't worry, my mother told me everything I need to know about vampire tricks, their nature as well as features.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
乔纳森，你也才遇过几个吸血鬼而已，你说的好像你遇过很多个一样。
What are you doing out here?
You mean what do I do outside at night since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How the locals react.
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town.
Explosives are very dangerous.
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well...
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
Do you know why Lady Ashby chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question...
Do you ever regret that she chose...
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted...
Your mother has refused to turn you into a vampire. Tell me more about it.
Each time we argue, Mother expresses the same fear. She wants me to remain alive and full of joy, rather than become melancholy and immortal. She claims you can't have one without the other. It's pure selfishness.
有可能啊，因为现在这个时期变成吸血鬼也不安全啊，确实是这样。
It's your mother's choice. As daughters and sons, we have to accept the decisions our parents make for us despite our own wishes.
I love my mother, and have accepted everything from her. Even that she named me Charlotte, when it was not my original name.
Does it bother you?
No. Whoever I was when I was born, I am now Charlotte Ashby. It hurts as much as it makes me proud to know that's the name my mother will read on my tombstone.
Your mother has walked this earth for much longer than you or I. She is wise, and we should not ignore her advice when we disagree with it.
But why shouldn't I be allowed to forge my own experience? There can't be only one righteous way to deal with eternity.
安排上，不可能只有这种方法。
Why do you still hope to become a vampire in spite of your mother's refusal?
It's the immortal aspect of vampires that interests me. The world won't improve unless women take charge. I'm convinced of that.
You're obviously a clever woman with a good education and a brilliant future. But have you thought about the price you'd have to pay? The loneliness, the necessary masquerade.
Is it not true of every high position? To change this world and make it a better place, one needs time on one's side.
Tell me, Charlotte, how do you plan to achieve eternal life, since you've obviously given it a lot of thought?
I won't give up. You have no idea how determined I am, sir. I may contract a deadly disease. I may throw myself under a carriage, just to be saved by her sweet kiss.
That's a disturbing answer, young lady. And the worst part of it is, I know you speak the truth.
There are less dangerous ways, Doctor. Instead of throwing myself under a horse like Emily Davison, I could just throw myself into your arms.
哇，这个绝不这种游戏，不行，这边我觉得有点危险。
Stop playing this game at once, Charlotte. This is unworthy of you, of your mother, and of myself.
I'm sorry, Dr. Reed. Please forgive me. That was stupid.
没事吧？
Goodbye, Charlotte.
She's been quite bit.
没事，都拿到。后来想到，有可能是因为要转化成吸血鬼的方式是你要吸他的血嘛，但是你要让他活下来，但有可能会失败啦。我在想，所以伊丽莎白也不敢冒这个险，因为没有，如果失败的话，就是直接就是另类就是杀死他了嘛。
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit, it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my...
他也可以等他女儿快死掉的时候再这么做，也许也是一个办法。
How is the situation?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky.
Are you not concerned?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that hard.
你是不是瞎了？
I'm afraid the newspapers are seriously...
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
What can you tell me?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be...
Finding a...
Oh, I have many passions.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
现在在这边也要调查美食吗？
Is it not a little too...
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
But what about the epidemic? The bomb...
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
疯了，他的眼镜有反光，只是没有记得多少。真的假的？真的哎，真的哎，他的是偶尔闪一下，才刚讲完就看到了。
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
Do you have any
Not since my parents died.
Really? But you...
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
London's lone gourmet.
I used that name in my early years when I was a
Goodbye, Mr.
在结束对话前还闪了一下。看一下你这里有没有什么东西可以拿。
It's locked.
不，就是那个不能乱跳，差点走到主线。这是主线吗？间。好像不是。哎，是啊。喂，到底是还不是？那几个人怎么？
Good evening, miss. Can I help you? I'm a doctor.
I am...
Miss, you don't seem well at all. Are you afraid of rats? Has one bitten you?
No, it's me who bites them. Tasty, juicy, disgusting rats. I can't stop eating them. Help me, please. Help me to disobey the voice.
太可怕了。
What happened to you?
The rats. The answer hides in their little crunch.
Miss Billow, please, try...
The voice in my head. He forces me to do so. Drink their blood, he said. Eat their flesh.
Do you feel compelled?
Yes. Please.
Tell me about the voice.
Keep your mouth shut, he said. Don't ever speak about me, or I'll abandon you. Help me, please, Doctor.
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, I'm hungry. Need to eat. Have you got something for me? Blood, perhaps? Can you give me blood, Dr. Reed?
Don't you remember who you are, miss?
I was strong, proud. I campaigned for good causes. But that was before. Before. It does not matter anymore. I'm so hungry.
What is the local news here?
Shadows. Shadows hunting shadows. Whispers in the dark. Pestilence. Suffering. Death.
它很像那个医院那个人叫什么？就女吸血鬼的严重版。但他喜欢的是老鼠。 应该吸毒，对，这已经有点太严重了。还是，我再见。我没有要解决你的问题，再见。超无情。 就有一个。
Good evening, sir. May I have your...
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize...
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you?
I almost didn't recognize you, either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
I know what you mean.
Of course. With the epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
What is this new...
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too.
Clarence, why have you distributed leaflets?
I have to warn everybody about them. They've killed thousands of people already. Unnoticed.
Vampires in London? Come on.
I'm not mad, Jonathan. You have to believe me. I know they are real. They're all around us, even as we speak.
我相信你。
Clarence, you've always been a reliable and a good friend to me. If you say you saw a vampire, then I believe you.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for your...
It's all right. But if you want my help, you have to explain exactly what happened.
The first time it was in Rouen. I saw an officer drink the blood of a soldier. I saw its teeth, saw it bite. It was a vampire, Johnny, and they're here too.
Tell me what you have discovered about vampires, Clarence.
They've always been here. And if you search for long enough...
Have you shared your research with anybody else?
No. But I've published my leaflets all across the city, hoping that someday
What do you mean you're not alone?
The Guard of Prewin. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, Ichabod Throgmorton. Those names always pop up when you dig deep enough.
Have you spoken with any of them?
No. With the quarantine, it's almost impossible to leave the West End. But as a doctor, maybe you could, Johnny.
Are you asking me to help you prove the existence of vampires, Clarence?
Yes, Johnny. Please, gather all the information you can find about vampires and bring it to me. You're the only friend I have left. I need you.
哇，我们已经救了木村，完了，最简单的方式已经没了。克拉伦斯，抱歉。
Clarence, tell me about the vampire you saw in France.
I was enjoying my leave in Rouen. I left the bar, took a shortcut back to the barracks. I saw it in a back alley. An officer in a stained uniform, biting into a soldier's neck.
But you were drunk, weren't you? Are you sure these two men were not just kissing?
Please don't insult me, Johnny. I hid, and I saw him leave. Then I saw the body, drained of all blood. I've seen the same marks here in London since I've returned.
Did you ever see that officer again?
No. He wore the uniform of the Royal Warwickshire Regiment. I did some research, but found no trace of him. He probably stole it from a previous victim.
我觉得他们现在
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other, and so many things have happened.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece, and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
没有，刚刚忽然想说
You need some rest.
他们这种说法就是，每到一个新区都会有1-2个人看过吸血鬼，然后别人不相信他们这样。他们这种就有点像那种奇闻异事的那种节目，什么巨人啊、巨人族啊、大脚怪啊之类的，尼斯湖怪之类的，好像就是类似这种概念。都会有个1-2个人看过，但是谁也没有办法明确的证明这样。
Hello? Is that
Jonathan? Is that you?
Thank you, Venus.
I was. I'll tell you.
Die too in this war. 现不再是这边，这一栋为什么有长得那么像的人啊？好，我还没有拼。妈妈对。就这么直接进来，真的好吗？看看。水爸说：“真的好吗？”然后下一秒，哦，哇，他是不是嫌我的鞋子很脏？马上开始擦地板，是什么意思
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan? I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery.
他是扶着妈妈
I
的那
know
个人，
about my sister's
难怪我
murder.
可以进
Miss
来。
Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently, she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
我刚刚是连自己的妈妈都认不出来吗？我刚才一进来看到这个管家，我还以为是那个同心会耶，我想说奇怪，祖先就不在这啊，原来是另一个我家，是不是？
What is the situation in this?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I'm sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
对啊，我想说奇怪，为什么我们进这个人家不用敲门，然后又有点认不出来，你知道？
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I lived.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir. So my task is not over.
我这个家做得很好，如果你想离开我，对，而且老实讲，是乔纳森这样说，他这个管家已经说的现实一点，就是已经这把年纪了。然后他刚才已经说他没有家人了，那他再离开，他也不能去哪里。
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
如果把他放走，感觉好像害了他哎。按乔纳森的说法，有点虽然是好意，但是有点没有为人家的后路着想。
Do you really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
真的不知道，这里再也不是。
I really don't know. I have always enjoyed seeing new horizons. Once the epidemic is over, it would be nice to leave London for a while.
I understand, Mr. Jonathan. But you have to realize that your mother needs you. Your next departure could break her heart.
Goodbye, Avery.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan.
我也想要选另外一个看看，因为我很怕是我选错了。没有没有，都对了。好，那我们去找。房子的设计好酷啊！进来就2个人，家也蛮大的诶，我不能进去诶。
I cannot enter.
我又惊死了！哎，你怎么自己走出来了？ 我不能进他房间，这是一个设定，感觉里面应该有什么。
Mary? Oh, my dear daughter. How are you tonight? How is your sweet boy?
Mother, good evening.
Jonathan! Is it you? Where have you been, my prodigal son?
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, for this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Mary? She is gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much. It's been days since their last visit.
Oh, 有小孩。
Mother, do you know what's been going...
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost?
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, that can't be true.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
Tell me, Mother, how are you? All alone in this big house with only Avery to take care of you.
I'm sad most of the time. Sad that you have left me here alone. Sad that you don't tell me when you come or go.
I'm so sorry, Mother. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was coming home. I was home. London, the Thames, and then it happened.
What happened, Johnny?
迷路了，我决定保持距离。我觉得我迷路了，应该英文来讲是 I am lost。
I lost my way. Somewhere between the boat and the house, my life changed completely.
You should have told me, Johnny. I would have understood. You always were a secretive little boy.
原来我是真的迷路。
Do you need anything, Mother?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make...
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Do you think Avery is right? Do you think I should take better care of you?
I don't blame you. But you abandoned me, son. A mother should not survive her children. It's unbearable to know you're not here anymore.
I know I have failed you since I returned. I even watched you bury Mary from a distance. From now on, I will protect you. You have my word.
You don't have to apologize to me, Johnny. Do you think I did not notice how much you have changed?
Have I changed that much, Mother? Am I still your son?
You are still, and you'll always be. Despite your pale skin, your bloody eyes, and that echoing sadness in your voice.
哇，感觉妈妈看出来什么了。
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject, and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she is also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
等一下，刚刚那段话。我没有告诉没有告诉妈妈我们是吸血鬼吗？对吧？为什么？那为什么妈妈会刚才讲那句话？她说她也死了吗？然后我回答她死了，但妈妈却跟我讲说，希望我们两个相处什么很愉快。她不就知道我其实也是死了，然后复活。等一下，为什么？奇怪。
Are you?
Not.
I recently met a
I'd be glad.
She's not famous.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome.
怎么突然讯息量这么大
？Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson? And my son-in-law? You're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon. Audrey, I'm not sure visiting Italy is a good idea this time of the year.
而且我的眼睛还在抽动，我操！难怪妈妈会怀疑我。我的瞳孔超可怕的。我已经不知道妈妈到底是真的知道还是她已经就是她自己一个人住在这个房子，然后因为太孤独，然后觉得大家都没来看她，所以她会就是已经设想说，其实每个人都已经死掉了。我觉得这段写的，我震惊到我刚刚是真的有点吓到。
Mary? Oh, my dear daughter. How are you tonight? How is your sweet boy?
哇，这么的可怕！看我有没有偏头痛。我家出来怎么就？家出来怎么有个猎魔啊？我错路了，走错路了，错路了，我要走正确的道路。要怎么走？这里。
Yes, Mr.
Goodbye.
Of course.
希望妈妈这边的故事有后续。
Support the equality between men
Waiting for you
and
to let your
women.
guard down.
Good evening, old chap.
I won't lie to you.
Do you need medical assistance, Clarence?
It's a little late for visit.
What can I say? I haven't lost my old habits.
I hope we're talking about the same habits.
You need some rest, Clarence.
好机会升级，哇，可以先升一升啊！只是我刚才在想说要升级什么。
Women die too in this war.
各位有发现一件事情吗？
There are rumors of abduction.
你家前面的狮子跟伊丽莎白家前面的狮子长得一模一样。我的。 巧合？我不这么认为，而且突然变得好卡。待换算干嘛？我不行，讲一下我跟伊莎白的巧合是不是？啊，太卡了吧！ 哪里出问题了？什么的都没有问题呀、啊。那这游戏的在优化方面，之前是闪退，今天开始换成卡，怪怪的。 我们重开之后升级，我们就今天就先这样。好，给你试一试。哟，这区好像只有那个偏头痛的那个，其他的都没有。这区。 主要是因为还有些人没有找到了，应该在那个公会里面。升级完，对。想到底要投资什么技能？因为我在想说绝技要不要投资别的来玩。但是又不知道哪个好，你知道？会是自己家里荒野比较高级，2000点没有这个。凝聚所有力量，让那个让目标的血液翻滚沸腾，最终猛烈爆炸，对目标造好像不错。 点一个这个来玩好了，都有机会。然后，钱真的好贵哦。 剑3点完还有。好了，我们就点这个吧。他知道点哪个？那其实我们蛮少用远景，那我们就点血好了，然后再点一个。先。而这个很亏的是，他们很容易防御。安心点。希望不要生病，拜托了。对。哦，有进来，哎，提升了，提升了，提升了。看一下别区。哑巴。这区怎么了？我去那个把这区用起来。看到我就想用，干个皮啊！哎，其实有一个东西我们一直没有做，是就是其实把孝村，其实要先救他回去白教堂，但我们忘记做了，所以才会变得这么严重。没有兴趣，我说先去把孝村对话回去，然后把那区医治，我们就休息。但是对了，武器可以升吗？可以。哇，这里很好刷欸，这个怎么有救星剑？妈妈，妈妈应该是疯了啦，因为她一直在跟不知道谁对话。不行了，我们缺材料。我们缺优质手柄，你要去买吧。商人吗？还有商人。
Good evening.
I may have.
有欸，80块，3个是多少？啊，你没了，你没了，你好穷。哎呦！ 只有2个，还敢开店？那我这样子多，因为他那个我怎么看？我现在只有2，然后我还要再买一个。教堂区太惨了，太无情了。
When science.
Goody.
How is this?
When people buy guns instead of medication, it means they have already traded hope.
他们开始买枪了。
I'd like to see.
谁没买？
Good evening.
You look. Well, there you have it.
Thank you.
真的，封口费40块，然后一个零件要80块。
Its effectiveness has been proven by many.
等一下是谁生病了？这样比较好找。乔，哈雷特，怪神父。也是通往那个之路。
Play for peace of mind. Fancy
you never. How are the?
When there's more people outside at night than during the day, then you.
Do you need
to be honest?
I don't quite agree, but I won't argue.
Really? Free?
Right then.
很贵耶！不在坑我啊！我给你们药，你们还卖我这么贵？
How is?
I'm not easily scared, but crazy killer.
Can I offer you?
Keep your.
There is a thin line between pride and stupidity.
All right.
Goodbye. Good evening.
It's far.
How is the sun?
Don't you hear the trumpets? The apocalypse is upon us, Doctor.
Don't you?
Faith.
No doubt.
Blessed be your.
I have.
最后是萧纯，萧纯，萧纯你在哪里？萧纯好像在这里。哎。滑鼠灵敏度又出问题了，我觉得等一下又要卡了。
Your prey is mine now.
再见。看这里是哪里？怎么长得有点可怕，而且我好卡。 但我也不想重开。
Die, vermin!
打个架呼完就好了。
On Christ!
I can't believe I'm doing this.
这不是墓地吗？好在下面。这。
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to...
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiao Shun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others. It's a mundane cause of death these days. But for me, it meant the end of the world.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come, or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
安敏的人才会习惯叫全名，叫个蔡琴。可是我觉得我觉得台湾也不太会叫两个字诶，就是光看大学点名的时候，老师好像也会尽量避免直接叫两个字。
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease. It can take the strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
Are you on your own?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence, and I need sadness.
忘记这个，这个是哪？我太害怕了。
You should not be by yourself. Grief can be a terrible trial, and it's even worse when you're alone.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
She will rest in this cemetery forever. And I'll spend eternity hoping that she can forgive me.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
You realize you can't stay here for...
Why? Why should I go?
But you're not dead. There is a difference between visiting the dead and staying with them.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reed.
You should go home now.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your company, Xiaoshun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
How is the
My only relief is that my Matthew died before seeing the madness that approaches. I'm afraid we won't survive this trial, Dr. Reed.
How do you feel?
I don't...
You should recover quickly after taking this.
Thank you, Doctor.
Goodbye for now.
好，那我们再回去。
You know.
你要走这一大串路。
Oh, you can trust me. Why have you not spoken to me?
我要说，好歹把它重新弄好吧。 话说主角是吸血鬼，不能闪现感，不行，他闪现感会超白痴的。哎，是血翼耶！
This is my territory. This is now my domain, young Ascalon. You cannot win this. Now mine. Don't you know better?
鬼吧！太强了吧！示范一下，如果用闪现感都会变成那样，完全没有比较快。其实就是我走到下一段路的，超烂。对呀，我真的超废的。遇到一个小小的2个高等血翼，差点就活不下来了。哎，闪光哥。 好，在这儿。 目前的规划是这样子，就是假设我明天没办法把它弄好上传的话，我明天就先不跑不是机器人，先不跑吸血鬼这样。但如果有些用好上传，可能就会跑，因为如果全部没有上传完又再玩的话，我怕就是一直积着，反而更麻烦。不先升级哦，对哦，忘记了。还是你的计划，大概这样子。
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.不打了，那里的怪是会一直重生的。有了，花了我200世。我就等。是晕眩。OK， 也就哇，刚好一点，断的刚刚好，也就先到这儿了。休息了。对，晚安。